Why do you think people were so excited for Ney's return?
It's just what he represents to Brazilian football. Right now, Neymar is Brazilian football, and there's some people who will say, okay, he's not the same player, but it doesn't matter. There's such a disconnect watching Brazil during the qualification process. From Brazilian fans to what they see on the pitch, this team has looked like one of the most un-Brazilian teams that we may have seen in our lifetime, maybe of all time. Neymar just represents this sense of samba, jogo bonito, all the things that we associate with Brazil. This is a win for the Brazilian public as much as it is for La Seleção and Neymar.
Bogert?
Yeah, he represents everything that of the vintage Brazil, the Samba boys, the technique, everything. Look what it means to everybody in this country. Carlo Ancelotti had to stop because there was a standing ovation as he's reading off the squad names when he got to Neymar. And this is, we're looking at Marcelo's reaction. While I think this is a beautiful story, and I'm hoping for the best here, right?
We're
hoping to see.
Don't do it.
What happens if Ancelotti isn't playing him? Is he a starter on this team? What if he's not coming off the bench? What if this overshadows the squad? What if he's playing ahead of maybe more in-form or potentially qualified players? I think he's going to get a chance at this World Cup, but it's going to get really awkward really fast if he's not performing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get awkward, but he's part of this team in order to compete. We'll see what his fitness is. We'll see how sharp he is, right? This is Neymar with Brazil through to the 2022 World Cup. I mean, these numbers speak to themselves.
Unbelievable.
How much of a performer this guy was, although perhaps he probably would have wanted to win more with the national team. And Copa Americas are fine for Brazil, are fine for other nations, they're everything. Brazil wants to go after the World Cup, and it's giving the last romantic a chance to get his last dance with the Brazilian national team, because for Ney, it's now or never.
Yeah, no, the redemption arc is almost coming full circle for Ney. Simply put, the players love him. The players want him there. And if you're Carlo Ancelotti, yes, okay, maybe it was part politics, but if he didn't pick Neymar, there'd be riots in the streets of Rio. Brazil doesn't look like Brazil without Neymar. You look at the team and how it's structured right now. You have so many players who can run off the ball, pacey players who can get in behind. Vinny, the number 10 shirt looks heavy when Vinny wears it. Rafinha, arguably their best player going into the World Cup, still waiting for that magic moment. When he puts on the Brazil shirt, something magical happens. And I think for people who haven't seen the true version of Brazil, to understand what samba and jogo bonito and ginga means is to watch Neymar play football. And watching some of the moments, although it's been moments with Santos in the last 3 weeks, if I'm a Brazilian fan, I have more hope than I did before this call-up was had.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that a guy in your mid-30s is kind of like that beacon of hope, because it's more about what he represents rather than what he is. And then that begs the question, how much is he going to influence this team? How much is he going to play at the World Cup? Will his role be a primary one? Will he come off the bench? How does he fit into Carlo Ancelotti's system when he's never played for Carlo Ancelotti before?
With all of these wonderful players around him, and he is a wonderful player himself, I'd love to see him being playing centrally and pulling the strings for some of these other guys around him. But what will he do off the ball? And here we go, the projected 11. This is kind of exactly what I'm talking about. With Matheus Cunha, they will swap positions. He'll be a fluid runner and intelligent with his movement rather than a static number 9. Maybe Igor Thiago could play that role as well in a different way. But a front, like an attacking midfield trio of Vini, Neymar, and Rafinha, man, that looks very, very strong for Brazil, even if maybe fullbacks don't look so good, and who knows about the central midfield depth, but maybe for one tournament, Neymar the Magic. These games are more spread out than previous World Cups because of the expanded World Cup. You're playing once a week, maybe every 6 days. That is plenty of time for him and other aging stars to recover between matches.
Yeah, I liken what Colombia has done with James, where Ney is not there to defend.
No.
Ney is there to produce, and he needs a moment. Brazil need a moment out of him. The first game of the World Cup, I don't expect him to start. But against Haiti,
oh yeah,
I fully expect him to get the run. And this is a team with Ney in there, with this current team. He'll bring the legs. He'll bring whatever legs he has left, which he's shown he still has legs. He'll have to defend. For sure, this back four will have to defend. He's ruthless and relentless with his energy. this team will have to run for Neymar because the end product is worth it in the end.
So we're going to go position for position and give this team a grade, starting with the forwards.
A. Look at, like, Joao Pedro's left off, and we can see the logic behind that. That guy starts for a lot of other nations. This is a heavyweight attacking group. This feels like vintage Brazil.
Yeah. In theory,
No, vintage Brazil is
Not quite.
I know.
Not quite, but
I'm with you.
Brazil's a
I'm with you.
lot.
I say B+. Solely, in theory, if you look just at club football, A, for sure.
Yeah.
But with the national team, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that moment for Vinny. I'm still
Without a
waiting.
doubt. I think we cannot compare this Brazil team to other Brazilian teams of the past.
so let's talk about it for within this World Cup.
And that's why I specified at the top, because I think it's an injustice.
Yeah.
Because everything will be subpar with this Brazilian team. And in fact, that's why Ney is back here. This is the crux of this segment, is because Ney kind of does represent all of those things. It's the romanticism. For me, A-. You have Rafinha, you have Vinny, top 3 wingers in the world in each of their flanks, right? Midfielders.
Oof.
I would go. So again, we're going to do this a lot in terms of looking at the depth. I'm just going to talk about the United States really quickly. Last World Cup with the expanded roster, 26 players, 6 of them did not play a minute. Another 5 played 45 minutes or less. So while this is a thin group, if Fabinho starts against Haiti, that's fine. But if Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes, Lucas Paqueta, if they play 90% of the minutes, then it doesn't really matter if they're thin. Obviously, that can change on a dime with injuries. I say that all to say the starting caliber players here are strong enough. For me, B+.
B+?
Because I'm not worried about the depth because it's 5 games, 6 games.
I look at this Brazil midfield. I'm not wowed. I'm not wowed by it. We were talking about this is the end coming into the year. He's been phenomenal.
And we were wrong.
For Manchester United. And he's had a resurgence with Carlo Ancelotti. But the rest of the cast, I'm surprised Fabinho's in the national team. Playing in Saudi. Having been out in the cold. And Lucas Paqueta, since he's gone to Flamengo, the last couple weeks, showing like he cares about football. And I think that's solely because of the national team call-up. But this is an underwhelming midfield for me.
Fair.
For me, B-.
So what did you go with?
Because
I went B.
B- because Casemiro has picked it up. Bruno Guimaraes is not bad. He's not different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm looking for Brazil historically. Again, I'm going back to comparing them to other Brazilian teams. You had guys that were different, that were special. A lot of these guys are very good and very in form. For me, none of them are at that level that, for me, bring up that grade.
Yeah, and I'm going to go B because I still think this midfield is a vulnerability for Brazil. Yeah. They're going to play a 4-2-4. That's how they played in qualifying. Over the course of a World Cup, those 2 midfielders, does this midfield have the gusto, the legs to go the distance?
Yeah.
Not for me.
Okay, defenders.
I'm going to go C.
Ooh,
C.
hold up. Let's say, let me point this out. Champions League final has the 2 starting Brazilian center backs.
So for me,
Marquinhos and Gabriel.
But what's difficult here is that defenders, right? If you just said center backs, probably an A. If you just said full backs, probably a D. So where does that leave us here?
D.
And what do you want to focus on? I think that I'm going to land at B there, right? But I think the center backs are more important. But again, if this was broken down more granularly to positions, that would be like A and D. So
coming from the country of Cafu, Maicon, Dani Alves, Marcelo,
Standard.
Roberto Carlos.
No, I would like to take like the Canada's fullback duo. I'd take like the United States fullback. Like this is weak, not just for.
Did you say Canada, United States
over some
the
of these
Brazilians?
Something like maybe not.
Would you take Anthony Robinson over Alexandro?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Premier League fullback.
Yeah, same thing. Alphonso Davies, right? That's.
Wow.
This is a weakness compared to. Again, I'm not. U.S. and Canada are not high levels.
Same topic of conversation at the previous World Cup. For me, I'm splitting the difference. I'm going B. I do think their center backs are excellent, world class, I would say.
Yeah.
But their fullbacks are not there yet. Although.
Yet
They've been all
I know.
Yet is a wrong word because at one point they were there.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've dropped off like Alexandro and Danilo again.
I was surprised. I triple checked. Is there another Alexandro coming through the Brazilian system? No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I think their biggest vulnerability is in the fullback spot of the 11 players.
Yep.
Okay, goalkeepers.
What's the timetable for Alisson?
Hopefully, if Alisson is back, B+ for me. But that goes down real fast if he's not all right.
If you watch circus football,
He's been bad.
Ederson, shocking, shocking,
Bad.
and that could be your starting goalkeeper.
I think it'll be
through
Alisson.
the World Cup.
Right. If Alisson doesn't make it,
Yeah.
it'll be, I don't know, it's crazy how much Ederson dropped off in his year at Fenerbahce.
Really?
But we would imagine Alisson is going to be fit for the World Cup. So Alisson's a top goalkeeper.
Yeah.
For me, it's maybe not better than the forwards, or I'll just put it A-. Maybe I should have made the forwards A.
I'm going A for Alisson.
All right.
I'm going A.
All right. And manager?
A+.
A+.
Yeah, A++++++. It's Don Carlo. You get stuff done. It's going to be really intriguing. Carlo Ancelotti, what he's done is he's taken the guessing game out of what could be by picking Neymar with this national team. Now the real work begins about how do you bring it all together.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.